In Module 2, we discussed how Playposit can help increase learner engagement both in a traditional classroom environment and in alternative classroom environments such as online and distance education courses. According to Playposit, the interactive features in this program mirror the traditional classroom experience, and learner efficacy is tripled in comparison to standard video integration. In Module 3, we'll be focusing on how Playposit can be used to check and increase student understanding of learning material. At the end of this module, instructors will be able to understand how Playposit can be used to check for learner understanding and comprehension of course material, know how to add interactive questions to bulbs, and know how to set up pacing throughout a bulb so that learners are able to rewind, fast forward, or jump entire sections of material based on their understanding. There are multiple different ways that instructors can check for learner understanding within a typical classroom environment, including things such as graded quizzes and assignments, class polls, and class discussions, just to name a few. Instructors can use Playposit to integrate various different types of interactions into instructional videos, also known as bulbs in Playposit, that mimic those which take place within a typical classroom. Instructors have the choice to add 3 different types of interactions to their Playposit bulbs. Questions, which are interactions that are typically graded, such as multiple choice and fill-in-the-blank questions. Annotations, which are typically not graded. These include both reflective pauses, where instructors can add textual information or a thought-provoking rhetorical question, and web embeds, which you can use to provide more information to your learners through external websites or file downloads. And templates, which refers to a set of interactions which Playposit has pre-formatted for your convenience to illustrate interesting ways to add interactivity to your bulb. There is also an additional template gallery that instructors can choose from, which gives them additional learner interactions, including learner polls, peer review discussion forums, pre- and post-assessments, and pop quizzes. Once you've selected and customized your video source in Moodle, you can then choose to add an interaction. Search for your video, add it like you normally would, customize it however you want, click Done, and then choose the Interaction tab on the top. You can choose whether to use a template or not, but if you choose no template, you can always add one later if you change your mind. We're going to start with no template for now. Next, determine exactly where you might want to focus your interactions in the bulb by moving the video timeline at the bottom of the screen. Once you've chosen the appropriate spot to insert your first interaction, you can then click on the button that says Add an Interaction. Instructors can also click the image to the left of an interaction to get a brief description of how that interaction works prior to adding it to the video. Once you're ready to select the appropriate interaction, all you need to do is click on the name. We're going to go ahead and add a multiple choice question. First, enter in the question text, and then you can answer in the answer options. You can add additional answer choices if you need to. To customize the answer settings for an interaction, start by clicking Advanced at the bottom of the interaction prior to clicking Done. You can choose to require all learners to complete the interaction, randomize answers, allow more than one answer attempt, and allow learners to rewind the video after reaching the interaction. You can add or remove any of these settings by clicking or unclicking the check marks in each box. You can also add more than one setting to each interaction. By clicking on the settings wheel to the right of each answer choice, you can mark an answer correct, or choose to add feedback to an answer choice, or jump the learner to another website or section within the Playposit video. We'll be talking more about the jump feature later in this video. Click Done once you're finished adjusting the settings. The interaction will now be marked as a small circle on your video timeline at the bottom of the screen. You can also choose to add special interactions such as learner polls, pre- and post-assessments, peer review, or pop quizzes to your bulb. To do this, begin by clicking on Open Template Gallery instead of Add an Interaction. These templates are pre-populated with instructions and answer choices for the learner, and once chosen, are directly added to your video timeline. If you need to edit any interactions or templates after they've been inserted into the timeline, you can click on the triple dot icon on the right side of the interaction and then click Edit at any time. You may also use this triple dot icon to add back-to-back interactions, such as a series of multiple choice questions to pop quiz your learners. Simply choose to add an interaction before or after the interaction you're currently editing. You may continue adding as many interactions as you'd like throughout the entire length of your bulb. Another great feature Playposit allows instructors to incorporate into their bulbs is the ability to choose the playback settings for learners. These playback features include allowing learners to fast forward, skip interactions, retake bulbs upon completion, increase their playback speed, and rewind the bulb after an interaction appears. Choosing to add or remove some of these playback features requires learners to focus on the material and move at the pace that works best for them to ensure optimal knowledge retention. To change the playback settings, begin by clicking on the Review tab. This will take you to the Advanced Settings options. Click on Playback Options to reveal the choices. You may select any combination of options depending on your learner's needs, and then click Save Changes. As I mentioned previously, instructors also have the option to add jumps to any interaction. This is primarily done through that interaction's answer settings or through the video playback settings, depending on what type of interaction you're adding to your bulb. Jumps allow instructors to send students back to a previous part of the bulb if they miss the question, or advance them forward in the bulb if they get the answer correct. While it may sound weird to have students jump forward in a video, this could be particularly useful for prior knowledge questions before beginning a new topic within the video. You can create a pretest at the beginning of each newly introduced topic to gain a better understanding of learner prior knowledge. If the learner gets all of the answers correct, you can allow them to jump or skip that section of the bulb. To add a jump to a specific answer option, such as a multiple choice or polling survey answer, start by either adding a new interaction or clicking on the triple dot icon on the right side of the interaction you want to add a jump to. Then click Edit. Once you've chosen your interaction and written in the question and answer choices, click on the Settings wheel to the right of any one of the answers. You can then click on the Add Jump option to choose which part of the bulb you would like to direct your learners to based on that specific answer choice. Drag the slider or type in the specific timestamp and then click Done to save and exit the interaction dialog. For questions that don't have multiple answer choices, such as fill in the blank or check all questions, you can jump the learner backwards or forwards in the bulb by using the Advanced Settings option for that particular interaction. After you've written the question and answer for that interaction, click on Advanced. Then choose to either jump if the user answers this question correctly, or jump if the user answers the question incorrectly. Drag the slider to the section of the bulb you want to direct the learner to, or type in the timestamp for that section, then click Done to save and exit the interaction dialog. It's important for instructors to remember that if you want to jump the learner forward in a bulb, you must enable fast forwarding in bulb settings. And all intermediate actions, those that are between the original interaction and the jump destination, must be set to not required. Similarly, if you want to jump the learner backwards in a bulb, you must enable rewinding in bulb settings. Thanks for watching and participating. Let's recap what we learned in this module. Playposit is designed to help check for and increase student understanding of learning material. This can be accomplished through the use of various Playposit interaction features, including adding questions, templates, and annotations at various points throughout your bulb timeline. In order to add interactions to a bulb, you will begin by clicking Add Interaction or Open Template Gallery at any point along your video timeline. You can choose any interaction or template, enter in your question and answer choices, adjust the answer choice settings, and click Done when you're ready to move to the next interaction. Included in the answer choice settings is the ability to allow learners to jump backwards or forwards to specific sections of your bulb, depending on the answer choice they select. You can add as many interactions as you would like throughout your video. Once you have added all of the interactions to your bulb, you can then go to the Review tab at the top, Click on Playback options and change the playback settings for the bulb as a whole. Once you've finished editing your bulb, you can then click Preview to watch your bulb and review your interaction choices. You may always go back into the editor at any time to make changes to the interactions before saving and exiting the bulb. The uniqueness of Playposit definitely gives learners and instructors a feeling of being much more synchronous in a generally asynchronous classroom environment. By integrating graded questions and feedback options into video instruction, learner engagement increases, and as a result, learner comprehension and retention will increase as well.